Angels. Miko Michan filling in the Mercy, Flat Pup on Pharah, Earthbound going Roadhog, Freakylicious and Yada, Sleepy on Orisa, and Solo Player on Reaper. Again, a lot of games on stream for Mercy's Angels. You're able to check those out over in the archive. But I think largely unchanged comp. They added Flat Pup around the middle of the season, and it's been a huge help for them in the DPS department. Coming in very quickly, Sir Roaster looking to get a little bit of space here on Tracer, trying to find some supports in the backline. Uses that recall and will not have it then. We may have to disengage here. We're still taking a little bit of damage and will drop. Not able to get away from Freakylicious on this Zenyatta. A little bit of damage coming in, I believe, from Reaper as well. But now as the objective opens up, a lot of kills going for Mercy's Angels. Able to knock off Cyclone, get roasted and Yoda, but there pretty quickly. Parallax falling. Sleepy gets res to bring a little bit of strength back to this fight, and they will cap this here. Right there as the point opens. And Mercy's Angels off to a very good start. Saw some of those picks come in early, and Sir Roaster and Tracer, like we saw, trying to get a little bit of space, and they just saw him really quickly. Cyclone there going in for Flat Pup. Normally we see Flat Pup on the Soldier taking out Ferris on the other team, but this time the one falling to Cyclone there, trying to get his that job done there. Flat Pup about halfway to an ult. We'll see if he uses that and changes. But now you've got Miko in the back, who's generally played Mercy throughout the season, positioning herself well, trying to keep the team alive, and doing just that, able to keep them strong on the point as they continue to take down members of All Natty. See get roasted, Cycronus and Parallax there falling, and again able to hold on to that second team fight. Miko using the Valkyrie there to keep everybody bolstered on the point. And now ults for either side. All Natty's got Get Roasted's Rip Tire that could use to engage here. Sir Roaster's Pulse Bomb's not far behind. Cyclone will have a Tactical Visor shortly. For the other side, Earthbound has a whole hog and has been able to use those pretty effectively throughout the season. Freakylicious and Solo Player both in the 80s, getting pretty close. And that Junkrat Tire actually not doing too much. Earthbound able to take it down with damage, and probably not as effective maybe as you wanted it to be there. Now the Tactical Visor coming in to the point. Cyclone able to clear out quite a bit, picking up a couple, and Sir Roaster adding Solo Player in the feed as well. And Cyclone for All Natty able to earn a little bit of percentage on the point with the rest of his team. To about 65% or so. Mercy's Angels getting a little bit of really good progress there in those initial fights, but now having to come back in and attack. All Natty able to sit in to defend and doing well as Flat Pup drops early and creates a bit of a disadvantage for the attack coming to this first engagement. It looks like we'll get res there, get roasted though, however getting pulled by Sleepy's halt there. That was a pretty good shot right here. The superchargers coming out for either side and just helping the bolster the side, but again, All Natty just getting the kills in the feed. Cyclonos picks up a triple to help keep this defense alive. And really strong defense there, good use of ults from All Natty, very responsible there and able to clean up the attack. Still a few ults they can use. The Valkyrie from Yodobud will be helpful, and Sir Roaster with the Pulse Bomb could clear out the supports in the back before Freakylicious comes in with Transcendence for Mercy's Angels. Solo Player with a Death Blossom as well could make things problematic for All Natty currently defending, but they feel like they're probably in a pretty good position here. 55%, about to come up on the 65% Mercy's Angels already has. Need to assert themselves a little bit. Swaps in the feed to Sir Roaster and Flat Player both fall. I don't know if the Mercies will be able to get to those reses. Now it looks like another initiation here from Get Roasted. This time the tire does connect, takes out Sleepy on the Winston. The Solo Player answers back with two more. The rest from Miko will get Sleepy back into this fight. See how it spreads out over here on the side. Another Tactical Visor coming in from Cyclone, trying to pick up a couple, but he will be cleared out and eventually taken down by Sleepy, who makes the most of that res opportunity. Miko comes in and rests another on Solo Player, just trying to keep Mercy's Angels continuing to contesting the point as they won't be able to get a lot of progress there. The really good Graviton comes in there from Parallax, able to grab a couple, but now Earthbound comes back out with a whole hog before falling. Looks like another Tactical Visor there coming in from Flat Pup, just try and clear out. Did switch off of Pharah a bit ago and trying to earn a little bit of progress back on the point. They're very close to earning, but it's just not quite there yet. Looking to get this down in overtime. Looks like All Natty will be able to clean up the kills. We'll take the first round on Lijiang Tower. Very strong showing there from All Natty. Mercy's Angels able to come back in, and that kind of caused some problems, but All Natty able to clean them up and take that first round. Looks like the team comps here switching up a little bit. Flat Pup now going Reaper, and Solo Player on McCree. See how those pan out for them. We like the flexibility. Again, if you've seen these teams on stream, you know that they have a lot of players that can play a few different heroes, and it makes switching up these team comps pretty exciting to see how they will engage to the point. This time coming in the high ground, serve roaster and get roasted. I think maybe all of Allnatty maybe trying to take high ground and circle out down in from behind. Actually splitting up a little bit. They've got two flankers in roaster and get roasted, trying to maybe split the team a little bit, but now coming to point quickly is Mercy's Angels and getting the kills to show for it. Cyclone the only one answering back so far for Allnatty, as Flap Up and Freakylicious combined there to take out a couple. So roaster will enter back as well, taking down Miko Michan. That is a big kill for them, but Earthbound falls as well. And it's going to start to look like it is pretty balanced, but I think Mercy's Angels again has dominance on the point and may take it first. No contest coming in, and that's exactly what will happen. They're able to take the point there. And in a pretty good position. Get roasted for Cycraw on the attack, and Sir Roaster in the 80s, pretty close to their ults. Everybody else a little bit further behind. But for the current defenders on the point, all around 50% or so. Give or take 10 here or there. Now as the attack comes back in very quickly here from Allnatty, trying to create some space. They've got Cyclone's shield and the just bubbles there from Parallax, just protecting the team, trying to create a little bit of space for themselves. But Mercy's Angels look like they're defending well, kind of using the point well to defend themselves. Good Roaster coming with a solid double there on the Death Blossom, able to grab a couple. Cycro answers with a double of his own. Sir Roaster picks one up, and Allnatty will wrap this point up with 35% gone.
Where does it hurt?
Again, like we saw on the first round there, Allnatty, a good use of ultimates to take that point back. Rather take over the point. They've got a few coming up as well, and just the approach they take to being responsible about their usage, not using too many at once, and they don't need to use anymore to win a fight, just balancing them out well. They've already got two more in the Pulse Bomb, and Tactical Visor of Yoda, but just picked up a Valkyrie Parallax pretty close to a Graviton. And obviously you see the Supercharger here able to hold Mercy's Angels back at their kind of spawn choke point here, and making it difficult for them to find any room on the point. I will say Mercy's Angels does have ults they could use, but they won't be able to use them if they fall, as Freakylicious won't be able to use that Transcendence. Now Flap Up able to get in behind, takes out 3 with the Death Blossom. That may be the angle that they need to get back in. A good rest there from Miko Chan, picking up a couple, using the Valkyrie, knowing they have a space to get through, but a good Graviton there from Parallax will effectively end the attack for Mercy's Angels. Actually, as I say, they're getting back cap. The rest Solo Player and Sleepy all the way back here. Sneaks so quickly that I didn't even see them. And yeah, just really good job there from Flap Up, coming in with the triple on the Death Blossom and creating that space for the team to come in and take the point back. Now, just now eclipsing the point that Allnatty had there, the 48%, getting the majority now and looking to defend well. They still have 2 ults they can use. Freakylicious wasn't able to use the Transcendence last time, but now Rezzed could use it here. As Solo Player falls, though, a few defenders coming off the point, it could be difficult for them to maintain supremacy as Allnatty comes back in. Still holding well, eclipsing about 71-72% here, and looking to keep a few members alive. Earthbound and Freakylicious trying to sit back a little bit. Sleepy looks a little low and could be in a difficult position here. But now the Tactical Visor coming in from Cycraw, helping to take a few more, and I believe that's the Supercharger again from Cychronos, just adding a little bit of damage to help them clear out this point. And now moving back up to the spawn choke here, trying to prevent the entrance, but they've got a few ults. Mercy's Angels rather has a few ults they can use to try and break that barrier again. Probably find a crack in the armor and see if they can come back into point like they did the first time. Sleepy looking for an opportunity to use this Graviton once Allnatty gets grouped up a little bit. Not quite able to, actually was able to use it right before he died. Picked up a couple. The Pulse Bomb from Solo Player will grab a solid 3. Miko will pick Sleepy back up, and now that's supremacy on the point here, I think, for Mercy's Angels. Yodelbutt able to use Valkyrie, grabs a couple, just trying to keep the defense strong. Parallax taking one, Cycraw as another. Parallax getting on the action again, and I think that actually will get the clear out from Allnatty. Freakylicious, I believe, using the Transcendence there, trying to keep the stall alive, and now it's Solo Player doing the exact same, just trying to find a little bit of room and keep it from getting too close to 99%. Allnatty will team up to take him down, and at 97, 98, they'll need somebody to get onto point to contest this. Will not be able to do it, though. Allnatty taking the first round of the championship and off to a fantastic start.
Play of the game.
Огонь по готовности!
Double. Triple.
nice to be appreciated.
So strong performance there from All Natty, able to take that 2-0 win over Mercy's Angels on Lijiang Tower. Looking for the hybrid pick from Mercy's Angels and see what they have for us. Again, like we said, in that second round, just the ult usage from All Natty edged out Mercy's Angels a little bit, able to team up and get some kills. One thing I do want to note, in that Week 1 game we saw, I believe it was Sir Roaster and Get Roasted combining well on a fair Zarya combo. So expected to see that as well. Obviously, we saw Parallax playing the Zarya there, so again, team flexibility. But we'll see if we see that combo coming out from them. On the other side, Earthbound with the Roadhog again, able to use ult effectively, and a lot of flexibility there as well. Solo player playing a DPS and able to cause some problems for opposing teams. We saw I believe the Death Blossom coming at one point. So again, we'll see how Mercy's Angels responds. They didn't play any hybrid maps in that previous matchup. It was actually Ilios, then Volskaya, and Anubis. Both 2-1 wins for All Natty. So we know that taking points not too much of an issue. Be pushing payloads that I'm curious to see. Obviously, we've seen these teams play throughout the season, so some opportunities to see them on a number of different maps. And I believe actually both do payload sections very well. Did want to take a moment to remind you guys that the Season 3 signups definitely still open as we wrap up the second season. That'll be a draft style, so if you're looking to get into the league and maybe you don't have a team that you can join with, or people that you play with, definitely get into the community and join on the website at OWXLeague.com. It's got just a free agent sign up for you, pretty quick form. We'll get you into the draft and get you into our Discord server so you can get all that information about Season 3. Looking forward to a lot of really good competition between all the teams, a lot of teams staying in, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So definitely get into that. In the off season, we'll be trying to run some tournaments as well, and trying to keep things fresh and exciting for all the players. But we'll have details as we have them for you. Get them out in the Discord, so definitely get in there so you'll stay up to date with all the information. Still waiting on that hybrid map pick. I kind of want to see maybe like a King's Row. It's been a pretty common map this season for hybrids, and generally in the map pool when we were doing the draft in throughout the rest of the season. So see what they decide to come out with. I don't think we see a lot of Numbani. That could be an interesting pick. I think Eichenwald's relatively common though as well. So they did go Numbani. Again, we don't have to see that very often, so I think that'd be a fun map. But while we get those ready, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, guys. trades, and almost as expected, it is the King's Row pick from Mercy's Angels. Make sure that both captains are ready. I'll set up here. Start for you just a second.
Now entering King's Row.
So now on King's Row, for the defense, all natty starting off in the blue here. Left hand side, it's Cycra on Soldier again. Cycros once again on Orisa, Kid Rosa, Junkrat, Parallax now switching off the Zarya to Diva, Yodabud on Mercy, Sir Roser playing Zenyatta. For the attackers, Mercy's Angels, Miko going Mercy again, Flat Pup on Reaper, Earthbound Roadhog, Freakalicious on Zenyatta, Sleepy going Reinhardt, solo player on Genji.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Holding right up here at the choke, all natty using the shields there from Cycronos to prevent a lot of this damage. A shield of their own from Sleepy though helps him get a little bit of this damage through the choke. However, having to rest that shield a little bit, Sleepy losing that pretty quickly, but a good shield will prevent Earthbound's hook, which could be incredibly deadly coming through that center section. Both teams kind of poking, prodding, and pushing here, looking to see if they can find a little bit of space in the all-natty defense. Another hook goes awry there for Earthbound, and striking first, Kid Roasted able to pick up Flat Pup. It's a big deal for them, as Flat Pup again has been a DPSer for Mercy's Angels this season. Looks like the attack may have to regroup just a little bit, just kind of pretend to push a little bit more damage through this choke. Hopefully they can grab one of the defenders off that that section there, and knowing that the longer respawn, they'll have a little bit of room. Kid Roasted able to get Freakalicious there, and the Valkyrie coming in from Miko, able to pick him back up again, trying to help this attack come in. They are picking up A little bit of space pushing the defense in a little bit, but the defense there from All Natty shifting back well to prevent additional damage and able to take down Sleepy. What's res though is the Valkyrie was still up, and now it looks like a few of the defenders here falling as Parallax drops. Cyclone gets resed again, but now Yodelblitz won't have that healing that was so essential for them. Vigo in a difficult spot as Get Roasted sees, and already a tick gone on the point for Mercy's Angels, or coming in there. Oh, sorry about that, guys. And may be able to take some good position as you see the defense starts to set up here in the street section. And we'll be able to take that there, and have 5 minutes on the clock as they come to the second section. Cyclonus the only one for All Natty with an ult. Versus Angels with 2 here and pretty close to Sleepy Shatter. But to say that All Natty's pretty close to a few of their own. Sitting back a little bit in the street section, looking to get the rest of their team members back. All Natty puts the shield up there for Cyclonus. May want to switch to another Reinhardt to combat the Reinhardt here from Sleepy, just because Orisa isn't nearly as mobile and there gets pulled. Comes back immediately though with the resurrection. I think that would have been a little bit too early there for Sleepy trying to get the pin. I don't think Cyclonus had completely rezzed yet. On an ultimate now for either side, it looks like the tactical visor coming in from Flap Pup could help zone out a little bit, but I don't think he picked up any in the feed. The defense holding this choke point pretty well. Did concede that point relatively quickly, but now defending pretty aggressively as Cyclonus picks up a solid double. Actually, Parallax you saw in the feed going after them. Cyclonus giving me credit in the feed rather. But now retreating back to the point and defending really well just at this front section here. The attack with a few ults could use them here. Sir Roaster could try and defend a little bit with the Transcendence, but they are a little bit disadvantaged. They're still defending well. Obviously, we'll see if Natty's been keeping track of the ults coming out from Mercy's Angels to see what they can expect. It's like Earthbound's looking for an opportunity to maybe try and use that whole hog. Gets really low there, but able to get the healing back in to keep himself alive, and being kept alive rather by his Mercy. They're just sitting back on the point here, no one really engaging too much, and they've already lost about 2 minutes or so, about 1:45 on this first push, had about 5 when they took the point. But now a good pull from Earthbound does kind of crack this defense a little bit as Get Roasted, who's been getting a few of these kills so far in these engagements. Does drop there, that could be significant for them. But now the attack coming in here from Mercy's Angels, looking to create some space. Parallax will take down Miko in a really huge self-destruct. Obviously that's a big kill for them. Yodelblitz still alive and picking up Cyclonus before falling, and now the Transcendence coming in from Sir Roaster, trying to get the rest of his defenders alive. The attack coupled with some aplomb. Looks like the world just a little more mobile again, just looking to take down the opponent. Sir Roaster then falls for the defense, and it's just a couple tanks left as Cyclonus falls. Now Get Roasted, the only one left trying to defend. Or as I say, that Parallax in as well, and actually they are stalling pretty well. Mercy's Angels not quite able to take down their opponents. Now finally taking down Get Roasted, getting a little bit of purchase on this payload, pushing through the street section. 2 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock, and still 2 ults in the pocket, but they've got 3 to contest with on the other side. Using one now, Flap Up again, trying with that aggressive attack, trying to push back, zone out a little bit, and Yodelblitz finds himself in a difficult spot, will fall there, and that's a big kill for them. Cycross switching to Bastion, falling as well, and now Flap Up just running riot here on the All Natty defense. Getting some kills, and I believe they will be able to get to this B checkpoint. That's a 5-player kill streak there, as Silver helps to pick up Cycronos. Get Roasted falls as well, but is able to use the tire to take down Sleepy, and a little bit of an afterlife kill. The defense has blocked the B checkpoint. I thought that Mercy's Angels would be able to coast right in here, but still stalling. But now as they back off just a little bit to use that self-destruct, they will be able to get that B point, and yeah, nobody picked up in that self-destruct, so maybe not as useful as they possibly wanted it to be, and the defense will have to retreat to the middle portion of this last section. See the Valkyrie for Yodelblitz coming back in, dropped early in that fight, which helped the attack get as far as it did, but now may be able to use that Valkyrie here. Freakulicious then falling as Parallax hits some rocks in the face, picks up another on Sleepy, and now the defense kind of fighting back a little bit, pushing back these attackers, and they will have to retreat as Flap Up tries to get away if the Tesla cannon there is not able to. You see the feed just light up blue for All Natty, able to reassert their authority on this payload and in their defense. Well, it looks like an Orisa change for Sleepy. We thought we'd have to see Cyclonus maybe go Orisa, or maybe have to go Reinhardt to combat with Sleepy's Reinhardt. Going the other way instead, Sleepy trying to use the Orisa to answer back. Again, the aggressive defense coming out. Parallax pays for it, however, and drops there really quickly. Earthbound combining with Flap Pup to take him down. Tire comes in from Get Rosen taking one back for solo players. Parallax gets res, so maybe not as bad for the defense as it looks. It's now to 6v5 on the point. Flat Pup falls there again, so now the defense doing even better, but now the Valkyrie coming back from Miko and able to pick up Flat Pup has been helpful for them. Freaky Delicious will fall. I expect the Fez there on the Valkyrie. Solo player grabs one on Sir Roaster, and again just going back and forth as you falls there. Kind of difficult to tell really has supremacy. Really just calls going either way, but it looks like Flat Pup and Earthbound again combining with ults to grab a few, and the attack coming back in, the payload pushing around the corner. Parallax retreating for health, makes sure to find a way to use this ult to get his back should it go out. Will not use it there, decides just to drop and save the ult for another day, knowing they'll have opportunities maybe to contest this later on. But now, as the payload starts to come into this last section, a minute 20 on the clock for Mercy's Angels, who've been attacking well. It's Freaky Delicious just trying to, sorry about that, look for an opportunity to use that Transcendence, probably looking for maybe a Cypher tactical visor or something coming out. But now Parallax with a fantastic triple in the feed there, able to grab a couple, including Flat Pup and Earthbound, who have been combining well for some of these kills. Miko will pick up Flat Pup, but now both supports falling as Miko and Freaky Delicious both drop. And the defense holding well, it will push out a little bit, and just 45 seconds on the clock with very close to capping this.
Fully operational.
Attack now comes back in. I like the Winston pick here, coming in from Sir Roaster. He's had it here for a little bit and just able to use a little bit additional shields for the defense. Cycronos' shield helping him out there as well. And damage coming in from Get Roasted has been effective so far. Hoping to continue this stall here and protect the payload for another 20 seconds or so. The supercharger from Cycronos will absolutely help, as the tactical visor from Cycra helps as well. Just try and clear out a couple. You see him with a kill there. Get Roasted gets a good double on the supports. In the back line, Miko was 3% away from the Valkyrie, so that would be huge for them if no one's able to come in and contest. It looks like it's just solo player on the point, trying to cause some problems. The overtime meter coming down, ticking down pretty quickly. I don't think anyone will be able to stall, and there is a 2-point defense there for All Natty. Mercy's Angel still pushing very well, and a lot to do still on the attack for All Natty, but able to prevent the third take. Then now we go to the second round.
Switching sides.
Good aggressive defense there for All Natty, finally stopping the attack that had been so effective for Mercy's Angels. They were able to take that first point pretty quickly. Stalled a little bit on the Streets phase, and then obviously stalled completely on that final phase, not quite able to push in. But still a good attack from them, like I said. See what All Natty has on their attack. Cycro again sticking with Soldier. Cycronos now going Reinhardt, attacking Reinhardt like we saw. Sleep there. Get Roasted going Genji. Parallax on Diva. Yodobud, Mercy, Sir Roaster on Tracer. The defense, it's Miko on Mercy. Flat Pup going Soldier. Bit of a sharpshooter Soldier, so we'll see. Though looking to prevent probably the Pharah here on the King's Row attack. Sometimes we see that get a little damage over the gate. Earthbound going Roadhog. Freaky Delicious and Zenyatta. Sleepy, Orisa, and solo player going Junkrat.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
You need to slow down. Think about your actions.
Okay, Dad. You think you can keep up with me?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
Destroy the trap there pretty quickly. Solo player looking to get a cheat kill early and did not quite find one. Pretty aware of that trap, and probably may have heard him set it there. But now the defense, or the attack coming in, spread out a little bit, but looking to get behind that giant shield like Chronos to get some damage in through the choke, get a kill, and start that initiation. A huge kill for Get Roasted right off the bat. Miko Chan going down, and then Cycronos taking the Q there to get in. Sleepy getting pinned and going down. We Cycronos getting res there from Yodobud as Parallax picks up another. Get Roasted does fall, but I think that's the only effective kill for the attack as they come in. Cycronos coming in with that hammer, and in about 40 seconds, taking uncontested control of the point. All Natty coming in with a bang, answering back, saying we can attack just as well. Able to take that point without, I don't think, any stall. The rest of his team members coming back to help that meter tick up a little bit more quickly. But now, Coming back in, we'll be able to cap this, and it looks like just conceding the point are Mercy's Angels dealing with this diva from Parallax on the side.
Stop the payload.
Just letting them take that point. Probably a good concession for them, waiting to seal up a little bit on the street section.
Protect the payload.
Position well though, Miko here in the back, so can just damage boosting, healing. But a few flankers on the side. Get Roasted will pay for it though. The pulse bomb there coming in from Sir Roasted won't be as effective as probably they wanted it to be. Now as the defense holds here in the street section, the attack coming in still with both tanks looking to cause some problems, but not suffering for it too much so far. Versus Angel still defending well. We're probably just waiting for Ults to come out. Obviously that first point taken so quickly, I don't think anybody really had too much time to earn one. Parallax with the self-destruct though, and Yodobud with the Valkyrie could help them push a little bit further through the section, while the defense Transcendence from Freakylicious could help them prevent the Dragon Blade comes out from Get Roasted. Won't this time though, Solo Player's Trap takes him down, and Solo Player does have a Junkrat tire as well. That Rip tire may be able to cause some problems. But now the initiation from the Diva Bomb there, I think it's Parallax using that, not really maybe as effective as he would have liked it to be. Transcendence from Freakylicious will, I don't know if that was in response to anything or just trying to keep the team alive, saw a few people a little low. But now Mercy's Angels with only 2 of their ults left, albeit one of them a Valkyrie, a couple more coming, and all Natty with 4 ready to come back in for this attack. But there was a lot of time on the clock for All Natty as they took that first point. Mercy's Angels are defending well so far and contested a few also, I believe. There's the downfall, I think, probably on the Sir Roche's pulse bomb. I think Parallax saw use that self-destruct. Shatter coming in and won't find anybody, and then Cyclones falls immediately. Freakylicious will pick him up before falling. But now Yodobud falling as well will make it really difficult for the attack, rather, continue this push. And once again, cleaning up. Mercy's Angels able to defend well here. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, a lot of time to work with for the attack.
Damage increase.
Still have Yodel with the Valkyrie and Sir Roche's Pulse Bomb. Everybody else used ults in that last fight. Miko with the Valkyrie as well to answer back, and Flap Up, who we saw use a Death Blossom very effectively, could do that as well. But now as the attack comes back in, Parallax grabs a couple of Sir Roche's Pulse Bomb, connects, Cyclones going off as well, and that'll be a pretty good wipe there for the attackers able to come back in. Flap Up trying to come in there with a Death Blossom completely by himself, and the team from All Natty focused down very quickly. Surprised to see that from him. I think the fight was probably lost, could have saved that for a little bit. But tried to get a few kills there and paid for it. So now as the attack from All Natty continues to push through this B section, they have a lot of time on the clock, and they're looking to take that third point effectively and go up 2-0 in this championship game. In a really good position to do so. The aggressive attack from them coming in, pushing back, and it looks like the payload may coast right into the B checkpoint. It does so, and with 3 minutes and 51 seconds, a lot of time to work with to push into this last section. 3 ults in the pocket, a few more on the way. The defense will have to start answering some of the questions that All Natty is asking. Doing so is Sir Roaster. Looks like it's kind of a 1.5 there, the pulse bomb before falling, but now Killster's going either way. The defense with a shorter respawn though. Coming back into the point to try and help contest, but Yodobud's Valkyrie able to pick up a couple and then get away. Sir Roaster definitely repaying that favor by grabbing a double in the feed before falling there, but rather before picking up Miko, it's another one there for them. And again, this aggressive defense coming in and able to dominate this point, playing really well. Sir Roaster finally falling to Solo Player before he tries to use the Rip Tire to take out a couple. I don't know if he did connect with that, but he did fall, so not able to use that effectively as maybe he wanted to. Now the attack 5 strong coming in for the attackers here. It looks like not a lot of people contesting. It may just be Freakylicious with the Transcendence able to hold him off, Get Roasted, trying to push him away from the point very effectively with the Whole Hog as the payload continues to push. That will be a cap for All Natty. They go 2-0 in the championship.
Play of the game.
I still have you deserve this.
Solid performance there again from All Natty to roll the payload into the C checkpoint with a lot of time on the clock, looking very dominant and looking like they want to win the championship. So now it'll be a payload pick
Excellent.
for Mercy's Angels. We'll see what they have in store for us. That pick from them, and we'll be right back. So now payload pick coming in from Mercy's Angels. We'll see what they decide to do. In a difficult spot, though, down 2-0, looking to pull one back. Definitely a solid team throughout the season. I hate to see them go down 3-0 in the championship, knowing that they are ready and they can play. Look at this, Route 66 would be the pick for Mercy's Angels. Favorite map of mine. My favorites. Is pretty solid, so we'll see how they do there. They will be defending first this time, so that could be encouraging if they're able to get a pretty good hold and know that they can go into an attack pretty aggressively and take point. But we'll get this all set up and get the readies from the captains, and I'll be right back with you. We're ready to start all to play for. Here we're at Route 66. Route 66. Everything to play for here for the defense. Mercedes Angels looking to pull a game back, force game 4. It's all Natty who beat them in week 1 3-0. Hoping to prevent a repeat of that scoreline.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
For the defenders, Mercy's Angels, we've got Miko on Mercy, Flap Up going Junkrat, Earthbound Orisa, Freakylicious filling in on Reinhardt, Sleepy going Lucio, solo player on May. For the attack, it'll be Cycra going Anna this time, Cycronos on Hanzo, get roasted on Genji,
5,
Parallax
4, 3,
on Reinhardt, Yodelbud going Moira, Sir Roaster and Widow.
attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Right strike coming in from Freakylicious.
Get behind!
Get a little bit of damage in, falling just yet. Looks like All Night coming in really quickly. The defense still sitting up here on the top of the gas station for Mercy's Angels. And getting a couple kills there. Flap Up able to grab a couple, but looks like they are going back and forth just a little bit. Sir Roaster creeping there on the left hand side as Widow may be able to find a couple, but getting pushed back there by the defense. Just Parallax still on the point here for the attack. And Earthbound on Orisa looking to focus him down. Need a little bit of help from the rest of the team as Flap Up comes in with a little bit of damage in from the top on Junkrat. Cycra will meet it's Reinhardt though. A little bit more health back in. Really early shadow there from Parallax, able to grab. I think that was Miko, and that's a huge pick for them. Continue to push this payload, at least try to. They've got the solo player there on May. Still stalling, but now as she drops. Able to continue pushing this payload. Looking at ults, nothing but shadow coming from Parallax very quickly. Freakylicious now switching to Winston, so we'll be pretty far away from one solo player. I think now switching to Reinhardt, or Reaper rather. We'll have to go on that as well. Flap Up does have a tire though, could use that to help with a little bit of stall. They've got some space to do so. Before it hits this H checkpoint, decide not to concede the point and let them take that first one there. Now wrapping back around the cliff here to see if they can come back in, but Miko falling again early could cause a lot of problems for the defense. Has been crucial for them to keep Miko alive, and I think All Night has figured that out pretty quickly. Does have a Valkyrie, so won't be able to use that in this fight. Sleepy falling, so now no healers for the defense. Freakylicious and Winston sitting a little bit further back, just kind of letting the attack come in a little bit. Obviously difficult to engage here without the supports to keep you up. Another charge coming in from Parallax, another successful one as well, able to take out 2 that time. Solo player Earthbound both of the victims as he comes back in with another shatter, and Parallax is going off right now. Absolute just clinic on this Reinhardt, able to just get 11 player kill streak before finally getting shut down from the supercharge of the Earthbound there. The defense able to stop the wrecking ball that was the attack from All Natty from wrapping around this corner, and they can dig their heels a little bit and kind of stake their claim at this corner and prevent any additional bleeding here. Reduce from the attack. Sleepy still has a sound barrier, so you know, on the screen that could be used in this next attack. Yodelbud with Coalescence, Cycronos with a Dragon Strike. Gonna get a couple shots in Sir Roaster on the Widow. Not able to find anything just yet, but now all still building for his team All Natty. Again, looking for a little bit of room to try and find a kill. Hasn't found anything just yet, but now Sound Barrier coming off for the attack of the rather defense. They've been just trying to keep everybody a little bit bolstered on the point. The Dragon Strike comes in, maybe not quite as effective. Freakylicious and Earthbound getting a couple for the defense's Flap Up falls. Get Roasted going in with the Dragon Blade. We'll find the healers in the back. Miko and Sleepy both falling via the blade. Sir Roaster grabbing a headshot on solo player. And yeah, the defense with 2 tanks still on here. The attack coming back in with a short respawn, looking to continue pushing this payload. And Earthbound in a bit of a difficult spot here without any teammates to help him will fall as Yodelbud and Parallax combine well there. Again, continue to push this around the corner. Freakylicious still alive up at the top with Flat Pup. The rest of the defense looking to be damaging from the top. I like him taking the high ground there. Solo player has a Death Blossom. Once it coming in use of the shield will make it a little bit difficult for him to find some room. He's looking for a good chance to use it, but the payload largely abandoned as the fight breaks out elsewhere. Just kind of moving in and away from it, but you see in the feed the defense getting the kills they need to close off this attack. And without having to use really any ults to do so, they are managing theirs well, as we saw All Natty do in previous fights. Payload inching back a little bit further now as the defense once again bolsters. They did lose a fight early on here and then just picked back up on the high ground and retook that the space. And so really well again with ults they can use. A bear coming in from Sir Rocher. We'll see if we'll find some space in the back. I expect Flap Hub to maybe switch to a soldier here pretty quickly. Doesn't have an ult, but just uses ult and then died, so may have an opportunity to switch to soldier. We'll see if that does come out. Yeah, there's the switch from Flap Up to soldier, trying to take down the Pharah. Sir Roaster already started to cause some problems taking down Earthbound before the res from second from Nico to keep him back up, and that will be a necessary change there to try and take Sir Roaster out of this fight. And already having some difficulty with the damage coming in there from Flap Up, I believe, on soldiers with a high ground and some damage boost. Tracking doing really well to prevent that from continuing to be an issue. So Rose is still peeking well behind those rocks, trying to create a little bit more space. We're trying to get to that ult about 75% and definitely not wanting to waste the percentage earned so far. Another shatter coming in from Parallax. We'll grab a couple though, and helps to wrap up some of these defenders. Nico coming back in for the defense to try and keep the few alive. Solo player here on Reaver, seeing what he can do, but then gets pinned by Parallax. Again, doesn't have a lot of space, but as the time ticks down here, about 10 seconds left, the attack does have a lot of room to work with. The contest is going to come back in from Earthbound, and we'll see how far All Natty's able to get here. The Rocket Barrage finally does come in from Sir Rocher, able to help with a little bit more of that damage coming as Parallax wraps up kills officially in the feed. But in overtime now, about to cap this B checkpoint. That last fight could have been really crucial for them, and I don't think the defense will be able to contest. It looks like minute 29 added as the defense does concede the point, and just waiting to see if they can hold here well at the back. The last thing the defense of Mercy Angels wants is to allow All Natty, who's already up 2-0 in this fight, to get to a full push rather. Know that the defense is very strong. They come out with an aggressive defense. It could be problematic for Mercy Angels to push through and get to the rather equal their payload push. We did see them push very well on King's Row, but obviously not make it the entire way, so this will be significant to see how they're able to answer back here. But already not going well with Sir Roser takes down Solo player. Not really worried about Flap Up on the tactical visor and staying on there regardless after having used that Rocket Barrage. Kill swap either side now as Flap Up using the tactical visor goes for Sir Roser immediately. And you expect that to happen there just to kind of take him out of the fight. Another supercharger here from Earthbound, but he gets taken down by the Dragon Blade from Kid Roasted. Biko also a victim there. And again, the kills just going back and forth with the payload continuing to push a little bit further. Another huge shadow there from Parallax. Nano boosted and able to grab a couple. Solo player going down there and just to help him to combine with a few more. And the attack very tight, very strong right now. Coming into the final checkpoint, Sleepy by himself in a difficult spot. And honestly, Zenyatta's don't have a lot of damage. Does fall there and won't be helpful for the rest of this fight. Now just 10 seconds on the clock. You'd like to see them be able to push into the final point, but Mercy's Angels looking to hold strong, knowing that their championship possibility is on the line. I can't even talk. Just so hotly contested here. It looks like Free was just trying to create a little bit of space on the edge here. Sleepy does have a Transcendence, but trying to push in a little bit closer to the point, trying to continue that stall. Nico comes back in, able to res one, but then everybody a little bit purple there, so difficult to heal. The attack still just trying to get the kills, and they need to win this. Parallax again with another shatter, grabs a couple, able to clear out a few on the point. Reaper finally falls, so, and Flap Up as well, so Roaster able to stay on the Pharah, and it will be All Natty. 3 points. 66.
Clear to 3. Switching sides.
Just a phenomenal push there from All Natty. Had some overtime difficulty, ran into some issues with time there a little bit, to be able to push all the way to the end. And again, just in a fantastic spot to take the championship. Already up 2-0 in the game and ready to defend well here, knowing that this could be their title. Mercy's Angels again not wanting to bow out, looking to come in and attack very aggressively. And Sure, they've got a little bit more fight in this as well. Looks like for the defense, Psycho going Anna, Cychronos on Orisa, good roasted Sombra, Parallax on Reinhardt, Little Bud going Lucio instead of Mercy. Actually, no Mercy for All Natty. Sir Roaster going May. For the attack, Nico on Mercy,
Attack
Flap Up going
commences
Bastion,
in 30 seconds.
Earthbound on Reza, Freakulicious on Zenyatta, Sleepy going Diva solo player on Genji.
A chance to focus.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Escort the payload.
Looks like the defense sitting back a little bit further. Most of them on the high ground here. Parallax rather on Reinhardt. They've got a controller die there. Looks like he will fall. As may have been a controller or some sort of disconnection. That's unfortunate to see him take that much damage. He does fall there, flap up on the Bastion. Will make quick work. Sleepy getting one as well. Freakulicious then dropping the only one there for the defenders. And Parallax to leave. So let's see if we can get him. Right, get this game paused here so we can get him back in the game. But I kind of want to let's shut this down for you. And so we want to get Parallax back in the game to make sure he's able to continue, obviously, in such a huge game. Kind of crucially back in here, so. And guys, if you haven't had an opportunity to get into the Discord of the league, definitely check that out. A lot of great competition this season. You can see a lot of the past VODs and a lot of these just really tightly contested games. See how that goes. It looks like now actually Flap Up for the other side also left, so let's see if I can get in touch with the captains and see if those players are coming back. Sorry about the delay, guys. No news so far, but those players are coming back. Oh, there we go. Looks like both players have joined back in the game, so we get this going once they've loaded in. Okay, looks like everybody's back into the game, so we can get this continued. Again, thank you guys for your patience. Again, we want to have the highest competition possible. Don't want anybody to be too disadvantaged for having a player leave. But that pause button says so. I do apologize for that. So we'll get this unpause for you. Oh, I have that Orisa gun. Hit 1,000 times. It starts to get a little bit Now again, the attack from Mercy's Angels able to push through this A checkpoint, able to hold off the defense just a little bit. That'll happen when you play it that way. Flap up leaving after the pause already happens, so not as big of an issue for them, but still pushing well. Mercy's Angels looking to come to this first checkpoint here. Parallax will cause a little bit of a delay coming back in. The sleep from Cyclone rather, very significant there, trying to get a little bit of damage in early. Sleepy going out of mech for the attackers, and then maybe stall here a little bit of the defense, can grab a couple more. Flap up on Bastion, defended well, but looks like will go down, get roasted, able to combine with the risk to take him down, and not have a lot of that damage coming in. Sleepy falling as well, Miko falling, and it could be the end of this attack for the attackers. They might have to back up a little bit and just kind of cut the losses and try for another fight another day. It's like 3, almost 4 ults here for the defense. For all Natty in a good position. Only 1 ult, actually about to be 3 or so from the attackers here, but now Freaky Dish getting staggered there a little bit very late as Parallax came in pretty deeply to get him, but now Parallax deep himself looking to escape. Looks like he will be able to get away. Pretty impressive Doomfist play there, able to evade. I usually die immediately playing Doomfist, but also a support main, so what can we do? It's like ult's still building, not having to use them too early was all Natty, so able to earn a few back. The attackers can come back into this next fight. I expect the supercharger here from Earthbound to come out. It does here for the defenders. Self-destruct will come in and kind of zone out a little bit, but now ults again coming out from either side. The Valkyrie rather coming out from Miko, just trying to keep the rest of these attackers alive. Earthbound the only one pushing in closest, and not a lot of help here, but now Ana finally falling. Cyclone getting taken down there. Get Roasted trying to dodge and dive here on Sombra, will not be able to get away in the attack. Looks like they will be able to push this into the A point. Oh, as I said, they may not kills quickly enough as Yodelbud able to come back in on Lucio and continue the stall like they did previously. The sound barrier will help a couple here. Just trying to keep the defenders alive on the point. Parallax getting a few kills there on getting a kill there on Miko, which should be significant. Solo player falling as well. So it looks like the defense may be able to hold well here. Again, only 60 seconds on the clock, as you just heard the announcer say. And important for Mercy's Angels to continue getting these points and add a little bit of time back, knowing they backs up against the wall. The last thing we want to do is drop here. But the defense still really strong. Yodelbud was able to come back in and continue that stall. The rest of the team coming back in, and now it's Chronos doing a little bit of Bastion play to try and counter Flap Pup, who's now actually switched to Hanzo. Not a lot of time here for the attack as Mercy's Angels with no ults to use, looking to come back in, knowing they'll have to get a lot of vanilla kills. Not a lot of ults needed on the other side too, but obviously that EMP from Get Roasted could be huge if executed correctly. Looking to stall as long as possible, maybe build up a few more ults. Earthbound's relatively close to 1, but in a difficult spot here, losing health, and finally does drop. The EMP coming out, does grab a couple. Not able to use ults there. Get Roasted, or rather Solo player was 2% away from a Deadeye, not able to use that. And now Miko's and Valkyrie could be the only thing saving them here. Using that again to try and keep some of these attackers ready to go. Back up rather on the point. Solo player will come back in and may have an opportunity here to use his Deadeye. Does, grabs one in Yodelbud. And now it's just 2 defenders still on the points. The attack continues to try and come back in. They've got the health here from Miko to keep them alive, but in overtime, trying to push to the A checkpoint only. Almost have here Sir Rosa coming in out of nowhere on the Roadhog, able to grab, trying to grab one early, but Earthbound will make him pay for it and take him down. The Dragon Strike will help clear out the rest of the point or the attack. Mercy's Angels in overtime, given a lifeline. 2 minutes and 25 seconds, looking to push into B and continue with the ults they have. Try and just get to this 3rd point. Know that they need to, at the very least, tie this up to have an overtime comeback. But a lot of work yet to do, as a pick on Get Roasted just did not even see Flap Up, and really just can't afford to stay still there. They'll be disadvantaged coming in. It's now a 6v5, but the ult from Parallax looking to grab a couple. Flap Up, however, will fall as Solo player grabs one for Cyclone. So it's still, I think, a 5v4 here for the attack as they continue to come in, have a bit of an advantage. Parallax trying to come in from behind, will get pinch here and drops as well. So now the attack moving in very aggressively and getting the kills they need to continue this push. Another supercharger for Earthbound could help him continue this fight, and as the fight pushes a little bit ahead of the payload, just have people staying on it, helping to continue to push through, and they're moving through the section very, very quickly. Cyclone is looking to set up back there on the Bastion, now nano boosted, and looking to get a lot of damage through. No one's really peeking him too much, but now the superchargers coming in from either side will try and, or rather the supercharger coming in from Earthbound and the sound barrier from Yodelbud to answer back. We'll see who brings it from there. Solo player grabbing a solid double there with the high noon. And again, the just attack, just getting the kills they need to push in this section, and they may already cap this B checkpoint. That's got to be a really positive takeaway for them. 2 minutes and 30 seconds still on the clock as they come in, and it looks like All Natty's kind of reeling a little bit, not quite able to get back into position maybe as well as they'd like. And not really a lot of ults available. Flap Up can use another zone, exact Dragon Strike like he did previously to try and get a little bit of space for them. So Roaster now with a whole hog for the defenders. There's a Dragon Strike here coming in from Flap Pup, trying to create some space for them. Doesn't really pick anybody up, but Sir Roaster answers back with this whole hog, looking to grab one and is able to take down Solo Player. Cyclones and Bastion then falling, Miko falling as well via Parallax. Parallax has been a bit of a nuisance here in the back. Now with a Meteor Strike, could get a huge kill here. Doesn't quite connect. Cyclone now switching to Mei. Has played a few different heroes in this game and is able to grab a couple. The defense finally stopping the payload. They've been moving pretty consistently since that A checkpoint in overtime. I think after maybe that overtime push there, just caught a little bit off guard on that. He's trying to regain their balance a little bit and found it here. In minute 15, versus Angels has a lot to play for, obviously, looking to have an opportunity to fight back all the way back to a possibility of this championship. But All Natty basically has a hand on already. But now the Blizzard and the Maywall will split up this team a little bit, coming in very effectively for Cycro, able to freeze a few, and I think that will be the zone out that the attack needs, or the defense needs rather. I think the pick from Cycro to split this team with Mei, able to use those ice walls to get in and kind of divide and conquer a little bit. Now just the whole hog coming from Sir Roaster. You saw him get the pull there on Earthbound to just melt him from point blank range. Solo Player, however, answering back with a Deadeye there, grabbing a double, and Flap Up and Solo Player again adding well to continue getting some of these kills. That could be what the attack needs to continue pushing the payload. You see it starting to move a little bit further forward. Dropping down into getting pretty close to overtime. It's 15 seconds on the clock as Cycro continues to stall here on Mei on the point. That can be so pesky at times. Mei, especially on payload maps, it's so frustrating. Trying to deal with Mei getting off the point with so many possible ways to stall. But now Valkyrie coming out from Miko to try and keep the team alive. They're continuing this attack and the push. No one's on the payload, however, and out there they go back on there. Last thing you want to do is C9 able to get back onto it and continue pushing forward, but still contested. And just a lot to play for here. Solo Player grabbing a double there on the feet. Looks like the attack actually is picking up the kills they need to get this through. Cychronos now on the Reinhardt and Cycro again, just stalling as long as possible. Dragon Strike, however, coming back in from Flap Up again. I feel like I said quite a few of those. And the res from Freakalicious will help you to keep this attack going, just staying as tight to the payload as possible. Cychronos exactly one kid, and I don't know if he'll be able to get into healing. Actually, quite able to come back on a Mercy and save him if they could have dropped in a second there. Cycross Blizzard in a very good spot, able to pick up the last remaining members. Miko looks like in a tough spot. May fall there, does fall. Freakalicious falls as well. No healers available, and All Natty with the win in the OWXL Tier 1-2 Championship, wrapping this game up, able to take down Mercy's Angels in an impressive play from them all throughout.
Play of the game.
It's time.
So congratulations to All Natty getting the win in the championship, and just a hard-fought season. Obviously getting the same 3-0 scoreline they got on Mercy's Angels in week 1, showing they still have it. Mercy's Angels coming back and playing really well, but not quite able to get it done. And yeah, just a solid win for them. Been a really exciting season. I was trying to get the match start back up for you. And yeah, just exciting to be able to watch this tier, especially. There's a lot of these games were on stream. Got to see these teams play quite a bit. So yeah, just really happy to be able to do this championship. again, congratulations to All Natty for that victory, winning the championship. Well throughout the season. I'm excited to see what Season 3 has in store. Just excited to see what we got in store for you. And thank you to Casual Gamer for sponsoring us throughout the season. Just really appreciative for the prize he was able to provide for like the 1v1 tournament and things like that, and just the support that we've had throughout the season from him. Again, if you want to check out all that custom content, that is on casualgamer.us or at casual_gamer. Just custom designs for controls and other peripherals, not just for Overwatch but for other games as well. And definitely go check that out. Really cool stuff over there. But yeah, All Natty, your tier 1-2 champions, able to take down Emergence Angels 3-0, and just an impressive win for them. There you guys go. Sorry about that. But yeah, just again, excited to be able to be a part of the league in the season, and big thanks to Jay and the Only Girl, and just all the other admins, and Scarlet especially, able to do a lot of that behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't get to see, but just working hard to make sure this ship stays afloat. So Witty Cap as well, Matt, I'm sure you guys have seen him in Discord, just keeping up with just doing all that. Everything kind of running smoothly, so big shout out to them. Really appreciative for all the work that they do, and to the captains for keeping us informed and everything that's going on, getting the game scheduled, and just making it a great community, all the players and just everything. And for the OWXL League and for all the admins, players, captains, everything, I'm Salt and Pepper, and we'll see you guys next time.